These right here are brisket biscuits. Recipe will be up later today on Instagram, the Chef Redneck. Basically, I cooked a Boston butt last night instead of a brisket. Some provolone cheese, some fresh jalapenos out of the backyard, and a can of biscuits. Put them in a cast iron skillet. 45 minutes on that Traeger at 350 and it's done. We just call them brisket biscuits because it sounds better. Let's go kill stuff. Y'all ready? I ain't had a fun fishing day in a long time. No pressure. Pressure, but no pressure. Not a bad biscuit, huh? Barbecue biscuits, American flag, country music, going fishing. All we're missing is baseball and Miss America. America. I mean, my mom likes the pig. She'll tell you she loves Daisy Mae. I thought about putting her in the truck this morning, making her sit in the front seat as I pulled in. That'd been funny as hell. Then everybody been like, so what'd you do with the pig the rest of the day? Just hung out in the truck. Actually, see that right there? Those little squigglies on the bottom? Yep. And we got the gain turned up pretty high, but that green, that darker green fuzz right there on the bottom, that's my shrimps, man. There they are right there, boom. Got them. I can feel them already. And boys can have their white bait down there in Florida. You don't use all these, you take them home and eat them. Pasta shrimp right here. Camarones. That's Spanish for shrimps. Not to be confused with cojones.
The alteration of Florida's natural water flow is causing harmful discharges from Lake Okeechobee to the Caloosahatchee and St. Lucie estuaries, while starving the Everglades of desperately needed clean, fresh water.
For the sake of our coastal estuaries on the east and west coast of Florida, and for the sake of Florida Bay, we need to send water south. We need to clean that water and get it back in the Everglades where it belongs.
Join Captains for Clean Water today. Help us make a difference and save Florida's Everglades.
Here we are, it's August 23rd. Just had a solar eclipse, full frontal the other day. It's hot as balls. It's the hottest month of the year. Water temp is 87.8 degrees and it's early. It's gonna be 90 degrees water temp today. What that means is you just gotta work hard for them. They're still here. They're just kind of lethargic. It's like running a marathon when it's 95 degrees or 90 degrees, you know? They don't want to burn a lot of calories and a lot of energy to go chase something. We got my good buddy Vince Daniello, freelance photographer and writer for Sport Fishing Magazine and Motorboater Magazine, among others. Vince is actually out here shooting us, shooting them, shooting me. It's like snacks on snacks on snacks. We got shots on films on shots on films and all that. So lots of evidence today. Hopefully we'll catch a few redfish along the way, but that's our game plan and hopefully that's the ticket. We're gonna find out. Only one way to know and that's to go. I can tell you this, I know the minute somebody shows up on this boat and they got a brand new Columbia shirt on, I know that dude's gonna be my problem child that day. Like, it's a fact. I know right off the rip he's gonna be my problem child. All right, so Stark, we're gonna start you with a popping cork and a shrimp. Yeah, buddy. All right, so one of my pet peeves, y'all probably hear me talk about on my daily fishing tips or my fishing report in the mornings on Facebook, is I can't stand it when people use a 2-foot leader in 6 feet of water on a popping cork. It drives me crazy. The reason you use a popping cork is not to get the bait close to the surface. It's to get the bait in the strike zone. So you got to think about, all right, what am I fishing for and where are they eating? Most of the time, especially in a place like Charleston where we don't have bay grass, turtle grass, eel grass, our fish do more foraging. So when you're picking your popping cork, You want to pay attention to your depth, but you also want to pay attention to what's on the bottom and think about where these fish are going to be sitting. Like, you know, it's just like a restaurant. The window seats are probably going to get taken up first if the view's good. If the view's bad, people could be sitting anywhere. So, same thing with these fish. They're going to sit where they got the best view of what they're going to eat, and here it's usually on the bottom. So, we're in about 6 feet of water. Actually, we're not. We're in 3 feet, but over there is about 6 feet, so I got about a 5-foot leader. Now, if it's 4 feet and I got a 5-foot leader, all I got to do is move that lead up a foot, and the bait will be able to swim around in a circle around that lead. So just picture that lead being the bottom point, and then you got a radius around it, however long that spot is between your lead and your hook. Oh, that's enough. No. You only can throw one at a time. Yeah, literally one at a time. Boom! I like to hook it in one side and out the other because when it swims, they swim backwards, you know? So when you pop in that thing, it looks natural. Some people hook it through the head. If the head's harder than the tail, then I'll hook it through the head. Or if you're getting bit off, if they're biting the head and you're missing them, then obviously you can hook it in the head. But I like to pop them and it looks kind of natural. Does it sound like I know what I'm talking about? I just read that on the internet last night. I had missed him. That was a good bite. Probably a lot of bait thieves out there, like I was telling you earlier. This with the shrimp, man. The catch-22 is everything likes them. Yeah, it's good because you get bit no matter what, but there's a lot of little pinfish, croakas, all kind of stuff out there that eat this shrimp. People. Yeah, see that? All my legs are gone. My little trail beaters are gone. That's how you know the pinfish are eating you up. And that's why you get the live shrimp, man. That little pitter-patter of their legs is what attracts the bite a lot of times. Give it a few more minutes, we'll get out of here. I'm pretty impatient.
Oh my goodness, what a beautiful speckled trout.
The Clash is Penn's lightest spinning reel ever. CNC machine gears are smooth and durable with extreme cranking power. Level line oscillation delivers precise line lay and longer cast with no fear of wind knots.
And the full range of drag on this Clash. It's smooth from 2 pounds of drag all the way to the max drag on it. That's not exactly no drag, boys.
You're only as good as your equipment, and that's why I use a Penn Clash.
Penn, let the battle begin.
There's 2 things you should call me for. If you're playing Captain's Choice and you need somebody to hit a driver, boom, I'm your guy. And if you want to go play trivia one night, I'm your guy. Now, sports, not my thing. Sciences, boom, I got you. I took a class called entomology one time, and I've come to find out that literally the only time I'll ever use it is watching Jeopardy. You want to know how many hairs on the hind tibia of a bumblebee? I got you. Which is a hymenopteron, actually. Did you know that a carpenter bee is not even a bee, it's a fly? Yep. That's all the fun facts I have. I've been known to throw a popping cork. It'd be nice if we can get a dang bite out of them. When I talk about this grass, I'll call it bulrushes instead of spartana. That's where they found Moses and that stuff. You know what they said when they found him, don't you? Holy Moses. Bloopers. Remember how you catch those trout out there between them 2 creeks? On that falling tide, have they been out there? Hey, you know me, man, I'll do whatever it takes, Bubba. All right, man, well, I'll let you know what happens. All right, so we get up here, we gotta make sure we don't slam any lids. Chief Lightfoot, not Chief Leadfoot. Don't make me move your bedroom downstairs. Blue crab. It's a legal 5-inch blue crab. I know all you guys are like, man, I want to eat that thing. I kind of want to eat him too, but instead we're going to feed him to some redfish. So first thing you do to prepare these blue crabs, take the business end off. You do like me and put them in a Ziploc in the cooler if you want to. Second thing you do is trim these legs off. Third thing you do, crack them right in the top of that carapace. Break that carapace off. Last thing you do, cut those mandibles just like that. And then cut it right in half. And I almost go all the way through, and then I pop that reproductive flap off. That was a male there. That right there is your golden nugget of crabby goodness that these redfish are gonna eat. And then to put them on the hook, right here we're just using a piece of 30-pound fluorocarbon, a 1/0 mustad circle hook. And I'm gonna go in right through this little soft part right there and come out right through the shell in the bottom, just like that. That way it's out on the end, and there's nothing like legs or reproductive flap or carapace or anything to get in the way of your hook set. So that's how I hook my, what we call the knuckle of the crab. It's the same part that you would eat if you were eating a blue crab. It smells good, it's got a lot of meat in it, and there's not a lot of extra stuff there to get in the way of your hook. And that's how you use blue crab to catch a jumbo redfish. Getting crabs is a lot more fun than having them, I can promise you that. Just as a rule of thumb. Anything that you're fishing with smell, like if that's the scent they're gonna use to find it, you better not move it. Imagine sitting down to eat dinner with a blindfold on and somebody moving your plate around, right? You'd never be able to eat it. The biggest mistake people make is they keep moving it, reposition it and all that. Well, they're smelling that crab scent as it drifts down over that flat, and they're gonna go to the source. So the longer you leave it sitting out there, as long as it's got bait in that shell, meat in that shell, the longer you leave it sitting out there, the better your chances of catching. All right, so people ask me all the time, they say, Jamie, what rods and reels do you like to use? I like to pin all the pin stuff, but the Pin Clash is my favorite reel on the planet. It's the most technologically advanced reel pins ever made. The year these came out, which was last year, it won Best in Show at ICAST. And at that point in time, it was the lightest reel that Penn had ever made. Some of the things that make this a really cool reel, and probably the best reel you can buy on the market for the money. Most reels, oh, there he is too. And it works, it worked. I mean, I might have a trophy pinfish right here. Look at that trout, boo. Well, trout's a trout. We call that a pecker trout, and not because of its length, but because it pecks at your bait. These are one of my favorite fish, and granted, we like to catch them a little bigger than this, but this is called a speckled sea trout. See the purple hue? They usually have at least one toothus in the front. Another name for a speckled sea trout is a yellowmouth. These are one of my favorite fish to catch, so we're gonna go ahead and let him go so he can grow up. That fish is probably a year and a half old. He ain't by himself, probably. Oh, that's him right there. That's what we're after, boys, right here, buddy. So you gotta get up real tall. I mean, I'm 6'6", I'm still not tall enough. What happens is these fish, they get in that grass, and you gotta get the grass to go over, or the line to go over that grass instead of around it. If it goes around it, you're probably gonna pop them off. See how that grass is laying over underneath the rod, underneath the line? That's what you want. Now, most people say, oh, well, you know, you gotta have heavy line, blah, blah. This is 10-pound spider wire, ultra cast Invisibraid. You know, I use it for the distance, but it breaks at 21.5 pounds. So it's strong line. Anyway. Overhead fish. That's what we've been trying to catch all morning right there. Target query. He's not little either. Oh, red drum. Can you get me so excited? Yes, sir. That's that one. Ow! Old grass donkey. That's a mighty fine fish. That's a good looking fish right there. He swallowed that hook, so what we're gonna do is we're actually gonna cut it off in there as deep as we can go. Even if it was a circle hook, you know, 1 out of 10, 1 out of 15 might swallow it when you're using the dead bait. The worst thing you can do is try to pull that hook out of there. Usually they'll wind up dying if you pull it out of there and they start bleeding. Once they start bleeding, they're probably not gonna stop most of the time. I've seen them when they swallow the hook. In redfish tournaments, we're trying to keep them alive, and if they're bleeding, most of the time they don't stay alive. Oh, marsh donkey. There he goes. All right, let's see if we can get lucky enough to catch another one of these little rascals.
Just gotta film a vignette and they'll come bite you.
That's it. Seriously. Best diet iced tea on the planet, Turkey Hill. They make real good regular tea also, but I think there's more sugar in there than tea in a regular one. So I drink diet Turkey Hill iced tea all day long in the boat, right out the gallon. No, you can't have any. So good, Turkey Hill. Start, catch him. Go ahead, hop up on that box. Get that rod tip way up. Get up over that grass. There you go. You've got him now, buddy. He's in trouble now. All right, you hear that clicking? Use that rod. Use that rod. So everybody at home, we're out here with my buddy Stark Shapley today. Stark is a retired porn star slash taxi driver. He's also my producer. I figure if he's gonna be producing a red fishing show, we better teach him how to redfish. We're learning you now. Look at that hammer. So whenever you use a boga grip to pick these fish up, support their body best you can, especially the big ones. You don't want to pick that fish up by his lip and stretch him all the way out. It'll actually break part of their skeletal structure in there and wind up killing them. There he is behind you. Go ahead, Stark. That's how we do it, 2 at a time. Well, they biting now, son. I tried to tell you boys he wasn't by himself. Get on that cooler. Getting bit up. Ow! South Carolina redfish, baby. Try not to let it touch the boat there. There you go. Who said you need 30-pound line to get them out of that grass? That fish he pulled, though. They're strong, aren't they?
Fish on. I didn't say fish on.
That's it. Fish on, dry. I'll throw somebody in the water. Fish on, fish on, fish on. Oh my God.
Size matters.
Good job, bud. You right there, we'll release them side by side together. Just one hand in the water. And just wiggle them back and forth. So the key to releasing these fish is you gotta get water flowing over the gills. A lot of people just hold them in the water. You gotta push them back and forth. Get water flowing over the gills until they take off on their own. That's how we do it. The fish gods are smiling on us this morning, boys. So is this where we crack open a cold when y'all get us coming in choosing? As we idle back in Shim Creek here on the way to Red's Ice House, wrapping up a day of fishing, about to go home and put a 6-pound prime rib on the Traeger. I just want to thank Stark Shapley for coming out and catching some redfish, and my good buddy Vince Daniello from Sport Fishing and Motorboat Magazine for coming out and taking some pictures of us taking some footage. Please subscribe, like, let us know what you want to see on the show. Cheers to you guys, and we'll see you back at the house in a minute for some supper. Thanks for watching.
Wood fired, just the way Mother Nature intended cooking to be. With a Traeger, you can grill, smoke, bake, roast, braise, and barbecue. It's the most versatile cooking solution in the world. Traeger. Taste the wood-fired difference.
So tonight, we're gonna show you one of my favorite things to cook. Here at the Huff House, we like to have a family and friends dinner at least once a week. We work real hard, we cook hard, and we eat hard. You work real hard too. You don't wanna spend a half a day preparing your meal for your family when they get home. But this is not a 30-minute meal show. This is not Rachel Ray. This is not bam, and it's done. We're gonna show you how you get home, use a certain instrument, what we call a Traeger grill. You put it on, you set the thermostat, and it's done. Whatever you want, you can do with this grill. This is gonna be an instrument of our show, and we wanna show you guys at home so that you can cook a meal in 2 hours, but not spend 2 hours at the grill. I like to spend my time hanging out with my friends and family, having a good cocktail, listening to good music, not tending a fire on a big ceramic, oblong-shaped instrument. So tonight's menu, like I said, prime rib, Mexican street corn. We've got some Big Smile peaches, thanks to the guys of a Big Smile. We're doing some fresh, homegrown, organic peach cobbler for dessert. In the kitchen right now, we've got new fingerling potatoes from Idaho, fresh, organic. We're gonna do those in some duck fat in a skillet. And we've got some collards on the stove as well. First thing I wanna show you is how you make Mexican street corn. So we take this olive oil, and we put it on this, what we call Silver Queen corn. This is South Carolina organic, farm grown, Silver Queen corn. Jane's mixed up salt is another one of my favorites. You sprinkle that on top and just wrap it in foil. While you're cooking your steak, you just throw it on the grill. It's that easy. The foil acts like a burner, it acts like a pan. It goes ahead and cooks the corn throughout. You don't have to rotate it. You can't eat a pig like that all at one time. Oh, sorry, I didn't know we were back. But like I said, tonight we're cooking prime rib. It's Angus beef, it's locally sourced, great piece of meat. I took a little bit of Traeger prime rib rub. The bigger the prime rib, the more stuff you can put on the outside. My buddies at Big Smile Peaches, they fish with me every year. This year, these guys were nice enough to send me a box of grade A, 50 now, premium peaches. So what did I do? Like an a-hole, I cut them up, put them in the freezer so that we can use Louisiana fish fries cobbler mix, put it in my cast iron skillet, and make fresh peach cobbler. Wake up. I know you already saw we're cooking outside on the Traegers. What you didn't see is the stuff we're cooking inside. These have been on here for a couple of hours. I told you I braised some beef short ribs earlier because we don't eat the processed pork. Just so y'all know, there's more pigs in North Carolina than people. FYI. Come on down here and take a look. And the collards. Boom. Collards are done, and the braised beef short ribs, you telling me they're not falling off the bone? Look at that. Bone. Nothing but bone in them collards right there. We're gonna use about 2 tablespoons of duck fat from the New York butcher. We're gonna use 1 cup of chopped Vidalia onions. We're gonna put those on high. We're gonna let them simmer for a minute. We're gonna put a little bit of pink Himalayan sea salt. I just like it because it's pink and it's Himalayan and it's sea salt. And we're gonna use a bunch of pepper. I like coarse ground black pepper. I like people to see the pepper in their food. What's her name? Paula Dean. She says butter, butter, butter. I say duck fat, duck fat, duck fat. It's better for you than butter. It's better for you than olive oil. And it uses the whole duck. So I'm a big fan. If you're gonna use an animal, use the entire animal. I like my duck fat, period.com. So what we have here is some new baby yellow potatoes from Idaho, organic. We're gonna go ahead and put the potatoes in the water. We're gonna boil these for about 15 minutes. Talk about pommes frites with regards to French fries. You're gonna fry potatoes and duck fat. If you're gonna do it, don't use a string potato, use a whole potato. This is the best potato you're ever gonna eat in your life. I know there's a piece of collard in there. Hey, we use the same spoon just like people at home do. This is a real man's kitchen right here. This ain't no set. I was just told that he's on my face and he's on my grill. I don't know how that sounds to y'all, but it makes me feel weird. So I'm gonna go ahead and pull my meat off and we're gonna go inside. Ha, shit. We're gonna get this hot and we're gonna reverse sear it real quick because that's shit that people like to see. If you can put reverse sear on there as a hashtag, done, the fat's gonna rise up into the meat and press the moisture that's in the meat, the water, out, and it's gonna drape the steak. So your fat's gonna rise. What is fat? Fat is flavor. That's a known fact. If you didn't know it, now you know it. And if you don't know, now you know. Can't say that. I keeps it real, but I can't keep it that real.
Cheers to 20.
It's real TV. I burnt the collards. I mean, that's why you have extra vegetables and stuff. This asshole of a stove on one, which is simmer, decided to keep boiling them. What are you gonna do? As much as I wanna add water to these collards, I'm like, yo, Joe Rogan, I wanna add water to the collards. I'm not gonna do it because I know the burnt's gonna come off the bottom. You can't make that reference without me telling a story about one time when I was in St. Thomas in Red Hook, American Yacht Harbor, in a bar. I won't say the name of the bar. And I was with a buddy of mine. We're both kind of tall. So Dave Chappelle came in with his little entourage and they started shooting pool. I think they smoked some weed before they came in. I don't know, I'm not an expert. Our conversation with Dave Chappelle was interrupted by a bet as to whether or not we could stand flat-footed on the ground and put our testicles on the bar. Now, I would have loved to have had a long conversation with Dave Chappelle about why he had just left Comcast, why he was being censored, why he was upset. He's got a Blasian wife that's beautiful. He had an awesome show on Comcast. I mean, the guy should have been on Cloud 9, top of the world, right? No, he's in St. Thomas hiding. This was kind of before Twitter and stuff. Nobody really knew where he was at all. He was in this bar in St. Thomas watching me and this other dumbass white dude try to put our testicles on the bars where he was. We both got kicked out and never got to see Dave Chappelle again. I wish I'd used my time more wisely. Lessons from a dumbass fishing guide who likes to get naked on occasion. I've been known to ride my bike off the end of the dock with no clothes on. Fact. My side chick, yes. That's what the side chick's for. You have a side chick so you can do shit you can't do with your wife. Side chick. You knew that was coming.
It's really tender, but...
That's my point. Does it taste like burnt collards? This is real, I want it. This is what makes me a better cook.
I know, but I don't eat red meats.
A wise man once said, if something's really good and you've never had it, you should still love it if it's worth loving. He was talking about a person. The same guy also told me that if you're not very proficient at casting, stop winding it in. And he said, don't look where you can't see. Alex Adler, I gotta give him credit. Cracking our wall and our ceiling. Where's the pig? It's her fault. She's got the right idea. Laid out. She looks like she's 400 pounds when she's on the couch. I shouldn't even have to tell you this. It's kind of common sense. But if they're wrapped in foil and you've had them on the grill for a while, don't pick them up. I just picked them up. They're just a little hot. Mexican street corn is not cold street corn. I'm gonna tell you right. It's not like corn ice cream. It's like corn fire on a stick. But they're done though. So these are gonna be done in 2 seconds. Timing is always an issue. You're not gonna feel like an idiot after you watch our cooking show, because I know that y'all are just like us. You're homebodies, you're working, and you got families, you got pets. We're gonna do the same stuff that y'all do at home. Are you getting it? So Liza, will you deal with this dog? Give him something. Give him a bone or something. This dog's about to eat my ass over here because he doesn't have a piece of his steak. He's never barked like this in his whole life. Even his testicles look weird. He's got a hammer.
All right, let's say grace.
In the Huff House, no matter what kind of dinner we're having, we always say grace. Heavenly Father, let's thank you for this meal which we're about to have. Thank you for all our friends and our families, both present and not present, and those that you've already called up. We want to dedicate this episode and this meal to Nanny, Ann, Dozier, Reed. In your name we pray, amen.
Amen.
Everybody dig in. I want to thank you all for coming out tonight and watching the inaugural episode of the Chef Redneck. I like to cook for people. I've wanted to do it all my life, and now I'm able to cook for you guys at home and let y'all into our house and show you what we're all about. Real people doing real stuff and eating really good food. I want to thank Traeger Grills for their support. Without them, we couldn't do what we do, and I wouldn't have the initiative to go out and cook this stuff. I'll be honest with you, without that grill, I can't cook any of the stuff that I cook. If you want anything from Traeger, go to TraegerGrills.com. If you're here locally in Charleston, please go to Low Country Pool Supply in West Ashley behind Carolina Rod and Gun. Tell them the Redfish Mafia sent you, and they'll take great care of you. Thanks again for coming out. From me, my wife Liza, our dog Jackson, and our pig Daisy Mae. We'll see you next time.